like he's long for Cleveland. Could he be one and done as a Brown? Those are the questions. We've got the answers. It's a Football Friday. Time to get up on ESPN starting right now. Live from New York, the crew is here, is ready to go, and I'll tell you what, these Thursday Cowboy games have been unbelievable because they keep going out there, they keep holding on to first place, but boy, they stink on ice. Let's go to the highlights of last night in Chicago. On an icy night at Soldier Field, the Cowboys and their coach, Jason Garrett. There's a nice moment with Jerry Jones saying, come on, make me look smart, coach. Well, it would start really, really well. Cowboys' first drive. This is a theme. Converting on a third down. They were 4 for 4 on third downs, and it ends with Zeke Elliott punching it in.
Yeah, look, they were tremendously balanced. You saw that they mixed the run and the pass. What was it, 17 plays, almost 9 minutes? I mean, that's the kind of drive that you sit there and go, maybe they got something going on tonight.
That's exactly right. It was 17 plays in almost 9 minutes. And then it's Mitch Trubisky trying to bring the Bears into a tie. This initially is ruled out of bounds on a pick by Jordan Lewis. They look at it again, and it's a good call.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where you thought, okay, Mitch, don't start this already earlier in this football game. Don't have the Bears operating at a deficit like you did already.
Yes, when I say good call, I mean they did a good job to reverse it to a pick. So the Cowboys take over deep in their own territory, but they can't get a first down, so they're forced to punt. And that sets up early in the second quarter. Bears at their 39, Mitchell Trubisky, and now they're rolling. This is J.P. Holtz.
Look, this is a great job of play calling here on 1st and 10, running a tight end screen. A lot of yards came after the catch from Mitch last night, but you know what? You'll take it because what you're doing is you're moving the chains, you're holding the football, and ultimately you're doing this.
Exactly. This is a touchdown pass to Allen Robinson on 2nd and goal from the 5, and so the Bears tied at 7. Cowboys with the ball now down 10-7, and this is Zeke Elliott, 19 carries in the game, but almost all of it in this first half.
Yeah, this is how it's supposed to look. This is an outside zone that he cut upfield in a hurry, got downhill in a hurry, and this is how Dallas is supposed to play.
Except now, later in this same drive, on a 3rd and 4, Zeke's not on the field. What are they doing?
Look, this is obviously miscommunication. This is a guy in Olawale who's really not used to being in this situation. You can see Dak sitting there trying to explain to him, look, you got to have your eyes back to me. But that's kind of equal parts coaching and equal parts on the player.
And then that sets up on a night where very few things went right. That one going too far right for Brett Maher. His 10th missed field goal of the year. That's the most in the NFL. And then final seconds of the second quarter, it's Trubisky again. It's Robinson again. It's a touchdown again. So the Bears are up 17-7. And Jerry is thinking, this can't possibly be happening. And Mitch says, we're just getting started. Chicago's opening drive of the second half. 39 at their own 34. Where's the tackling on Cordero Patterson?
Yeah, look, again, this is a short pass, a lot of yards after the catch, but this right here, this is an effort issue, an attention to detail issue, because tackling is both that. It's both technique and it's about effort, and this is kind of what has been plaguing Dallas all year long, and this is what leads to coaching change.
And another thing plaguing them are bad timing on penalties. This was on a 3rd down, an incomplete pass. They're going to get the stop, but hold on. There's a flag on the play. Here's a hold on Xavier Woods.
Look, you can just see his eyes right here, and you can see that he settled his feet at the break point. And against Allen Robinson, the only thing you can do in that situation is hold. But again, it's indicative of everything that has been wrong with this football team this year.
The Bears get another chance, and they cash in. That's
another
Anthony
great
Miller.
call.
He had the huge day on Thanksgiving. He gets the touchdown there. It's 24-7. The Cowboy defense can't believe it. Beginning of the 4th, after Zeke had scored his second touchdown, it's 24-14. And again, just mistakes. The kickoff out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, this is just 3 yardage for an offense. And for an offense that right now doesn't have a large margin for error, you're just helping them out by kicking it out of bounds.
And this is where they basically put it away. Mitch Trubisky looking like Lamar Jackson out here.
This is right here the combination of his improved pocket passing and then the incorporation of him on design runs has taken this offense to a new level.
Trubisky accounts for 4 touchdowns. Look at the frustration. Jason Witten, Jason Garrett, Jerry Jones. Tough night. Cowboys lose again.
They played a really fine football game tonight, and they took it to us. And in about every way you want to list it, they beat us tonight. I don't care if we stay in contention all the way down to they have the playoffs. We've got to start showing our fans, more importantly, showing ourselves that we can do the things to win the games. And everybody that's in here that's healthy, and everybody that's healthy that's coaching will be coaching, and everybody that's in here that will be playing, and we just got to play better.
Do you think that can contribute to the problem that you guys are having, the public criticism and the uncertainty that there is around the coaching staff now?
The same way that my praise of them is contributing. You may have noticed I've been praising them too. So much for words. Seriously, so much for words.
Well, so this is getting just ugly in every conceivable way. Look, the bottom line, Dallas, when they play within their division, which is terrible, they look like a Super Bowl team. They're 4-0. Playing anyone else, they're a mess. They're 2-7 with 2 touchdowns fewer per game and losing the turnover battle. Ed Werder covering for us. What do they do now?
Well, Greeny, as frustration turned to exasperation, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones continues to indicate that Jason Garrett will not be replaced before the end of the season. But Jones isn't ignoring the reality of his team's failure. He didn't allow the scoreboard to obscure the lack of effort that seemed so apparent when the outcome was being decided. Jones said his only emphasis now is on winning a game. Just one game, because eventually that'll matter, even if ineptitude has not yet denied the Cowboys first place in the NFC East. Jason Witten said he continues to believe that the Cowboys have the right players, but confessed that this remains a show-me game and that those qualities were not in evidence often enough against the Bears. I asked Witten how people can possibly have faith in a team that's won 3 of its last 10 games. Witten called it a fair question and said he doesn't expect anyone on the outside to believe it until the players prove themselves on the field.
All right, we'll have more from Ed later. Let's bring it to the table here. Acho and Bobby will get you involved here. Acho, I'm going to start with you. Do you believe the Cowboys need to make a drastic move today?
Absolutely, and they need to do so immediately. Greeny, I grew up in Dallas. Every Friday, right about now, the garbage men come to pick up the trash. They need to stop by One Cowboys Way and collect Jason Garrett's playbook, because that performance last night was awful. And here's why it was so awful. If it was just in an incubated, isolated performance, you could have some grace. It was the exact same thing we saw last week on Thursday night in Buffalo. I said it last week in Greeny, I'll say it again. Insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. First play, first drive last week against the Bills. Cowboys go down and score. They don't score again until the fourth quarter. Last night, gentlemen, first drive, 17 plays, 9 minutes, touchdown. Don't score again until the fourth quarter. The problem is continuing. There has to be a change.
Those 2 games looked so alike. Anyone who watched it on Thanksgiving, it was basically the same game yesterday. Bobby, what? I mean, what specifically? You're a former Cowboy. You know this stuff inside and out. What specifically are you seeing that just looks so bad?
Well, there's penalties that are elongating drives on the defense. Offensively, they look out of sync. They're getting away from Zeke, and that's probably the biggest thing. When you look at that opening drive, they go down there 7, 8, 9 minutes, pounding the football, being able to move it. You know, they convert it with Zeke. Problem is later in the game, they're getting pressure on Dak. The offensive line, which is built to run the football, really isn't holding up. You can see Dak under pressure there. Another critical situation, under pressure, can't get the ball out of his hand, and really the right mantra. And it's a bad setup for him. But you mentioned, Manny, getting rid of Jason Garrett. Jerry Jones isn't going to do it.
Yep.
It wouldn't help at this point. There's no one on that staff. That they trust. So if you fire him, it's not helping you make the playoffs. So that's the issue. That's what they're trying to get to, is make the playoffs. He wants to hold on to him to see if he can make a run in the playoffs, and he's going to do it.
That's the issue. But, okay, my problem, Greeny, is looking at this and saying, well, if we keep Garrett, what do we have to lose? What the heck do you have to gain? At the two games ago, before the Bills, before the Bears, it was, should we get rid of Jason Garrett? No, maybe we can make a run. You lost your next 2 games, and they look eerily similar. So I'm tired of taking the pessimistic approach. Maybe make a change and at least hope for the best and do something.
Lewis, what do you think?
Yeah, it's one of these situations where clearly there's a lack of trust at the coordinator positions as far as whether or not those guys, if they're elevated to the interim head coach, will it make a difference? Because if there was some trust there, they would have already done it. But the problem is this. Look, Jason absolutely looks like a shell of himself. Okay, because coaches don't only coach players, they coach coaches. That's what the head coach does. Do you see him ever even talking to Chris Richard? Do you see him even talking to Kellen Moore? He stands there kind of with that half-cocked head, look to the side, and he doesn't move. He just doesn't move. And when you do that, it's almost like what is going through his mind? And I don't mean to sound, I don't mean to be rude or be disrespectful, because being a head coach, look, that's a once-in-a-lifetime achievement in the NFL. There's only 32 jobs. I get that. And, Jason, I played against you. So, I understand. I mean, you have made it to the top. But the fact of the matter is you look like someone who looks like he has checked out. And the players on the sideline last night, we've all seen it.
Yep.
They look checked out. And when that happens, Jerry says, look, he's just trying to get to the playoffs, right? And he said his team has no shot if he removes the head coach. Really?
But my thing is, they're exerting their energy in the wrong areas. Did y'all see? Remember last game, Michael Bennett yelling after in the locker room?
Yeah.
Then pregame, I don't know if you saw it, yelling and getting all hype. Where's that being?
See, you know what?
translated to on
I'll tell you what,
field?
that clip that we just saw, Jalen Smith taking a cup of water and throwing it towards Michael Gallup, who had just dropped the pass. I'm sitting there going, Jalen Smith, they were targeting you all night long. With backup tight ends, they were getting after